Hello, I'm back with the second card for today. This one's going to be a little bit complicated because it's our fun fold card, but we'll take it easy. And you can always simplify it if you like. I just wanted to show a few other cards that I got in swaps, but look at how pretty the seashells are. It's the Sand and Sea Suite, and we've got kind of a muted color scheme here of, let's see, Sahara Sand, Sea Hide Spray, and let's see, some of the lighter pinks too. So Saffron, and we've got Flirty Flamingo, and I think Blushing Bride as well. So here's the Sand and Sea Suite. And the star of this suite, I think, is this the dies in the folder, because they go together and they make these beautiful seashells that are almost sculpted. So this is made also with the pearlescent specialty paper, which is part of the suite as well. So really beautiful seashells. So that's going to be featured on our card today, which is a, let me grab my instructions here, open book Easel card. So let me get everything else out of the way here and we'll get started. Oh, before I forget, another fun thing to do, I saw somebody took a wine bottle and they put this on the front and then they put sparkly little lights inside. So you could put sea glass in there and sand, or just make a fun little gift out of an old bottle too. So that would be a really fun thing to do. All right, so get things out of the way here and we'll start on our Easel card. So I'm going to lay it flat like this so you can kind of see what it looks like. It's the basic card base is just a normal size card, but we're going to fold it in half, and then there's a score line here in your kit, and then in half again. So we've got this just a very simple fold, but then we're going to add to it to make the book. And we're going to attach the book to this section right here at the top, and then put a little stopper at the bottom here. So there's a lot of little pieces involved here, so let's get moving here. Yeah, it took me a long time to get all these little pieces cut for you guys. So, but I do have extra kits. If you didn't get a kit, just let me know, and I still have some I can mail out. The cost is $15, and that includes shipping, and it's free for the club members. Some of the club members, you might have your kits. I haven't distributed them all yet because we're a little bit early in the month. So if you don't want to make all these folds and curves because you want to mail this card and not have to spend extra for postage, because you can see how thick that is, you could just do everything flat and not make the curvy book, and that would work fine as well. So you can do it how you please. Okay, I've got all my pieces here. Where to start? The instructions. Okay, and my instructions, I have the book done first. So that is the back 4 pieces here of the book. So we've got designer paper white to make the book. And all of these pieces are going to be folded in half to make the book. So we'll just go ahead and fold our pieces in half, one after the other. So we've got 4 sets of pages in our book. It's going to be a very full book, I guess. And this is a card to send to somebody really special. Okay, and the first, stamping first, so let's grab my stamps, and I'm just using the Memento black ink for this, and the stamp says, friends are like seashells, you collect them along the way. And if you don't have the friends are like seashells stamp set, you can find something that will fit any place really on the book. I put my stamping in the upper right corner just because I want to put my seashell there and not have it blocking my text. You could also just have some random text all over the whole book, because you are trying to make this look like a book. So then we also have this little tab down here and little banner, and I'm so happy I found you, is going to go on that. And then, oh, I actually did it straight. Amazing. Good thing there's two sides to every paper, though. And my paper snips are not here, so let me grab some snips. And we're going to make this into a little banner. So I like to just snip up a little bit in the center and then go to meet the centerpiece there. So that's usually how I make my little tabs. And we have punches that are good for that too, like the tailored tag punch, and we've also got some special banner punches that work well. Okay, so the next thing I want to do is to kind of curve my pages, because you can see in this card the pages are curled up a little bit so it looks like a book. And you can use your bone folder like this to kind of curl it, or somebody suggested just kind of rolling it up a little bit on take your pick tool, and that just gives it that little curvy look so it looks like a book. All right, so I'm curving my pages. 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can use a spritzer too to curve them around. If you have a spritzer, it's about the right size. Something bigger, kind of bigger than a pen or a pencil, although that would work in a pinch. Okay, and now we want to put all the pages together. This might take a little while, so I might just do a little bit to show you how this works, and not do every little bit, because it's going to take a little bit of time here. Okay, I'm going to grab my sticky strip, and we're going to put one piece down the center in the back there, and then one piece on each side. And that's going to be a good way to just hold it really well. You could use the liquid glue like I usually use, but then you have to sit and hold things while the glue dries, and that would take even longer. Okay, we'll do this first one, and then I'll just kind of give you an idea of how it goes. All right, so we just want to have our centers down together, and then just a little bit of curve there. So tiny bit of curve, because it's all going to add up, and you can just add more or less curve depending on how much dimension you want to your book, but you can see how that curves right there. And so we got the first one done, and then just repeat it for this one. And then for the very last one, you're only going to want to put your adhesive on the top section here. So like this, and like this on the top, because you're just going to be adhering it to the very, very top section of that of this fold here. So you don't want it to stick anyplace else. And I'm just going to check it here. Sorry for all this paper movement, but I want to make sure I don't have my adhesive. This one I think I got a little too long, so we're going to nip a little bit of that off. Just push it down a little bit, and then it will be good to go. And I'm just going to go ahead and put this on just so I can show you how the rest of the book goes together. Oh, you know, I can't do that quite yet. I'm getting ahead of myself, aren't I? So my book is going to be all together like this, because there's more pieces that need to go down here. We've got actually these pieces here that go on the top and the bottom, like that. So let's get those on first. So we'll put one on the top and one on the bottom, and you might have different colors depending on which paper you got. This one has some blue some of the blues. Seaside Spray was such a pretty color, and it's now retired, but oh well. We've got some pretty new in colors that are here to take the place of those ones that retired. All right, so then I can put the top of my book on like this in it. And I can again add a little curve there. You can just pretend that it's all put together like that. Okay, the one thing we're missing here, well, two things. First, we're missing the little stopper. For an easel card, it's nice to have a little stopper here, or something to rest the book on. A book rest, yes. So we're going to do that if we can find the pieces here. So we've got this piece, Sahara sand, and then a piece of designer paper, and then we've got our little banner that we stamped, which hopefully is still around here someplace. So let's see, where is it? There it is. All right, so put all the pieces together, and you can kind of judge where you want your stopper to go. Let's see, on this one I have it a little towards the top of that piece, but it could go in the center or wherever you think it needs to be to keep everything in good working order there. Okay, about like that. And I actually put 2 layers of dimensionals for mine. So I took one, took the paper off, put another one, and took it off. So I've got double dimensionals here. So let me get that done quickly. And you can put, I think I put 4 rows, but for this one I'll put 3 and see how we do. So just so it sticks up far enough so that our book is gonna stay in there. All right, so there's our stopper. And again, let's give our banner a little curl there, why not? And add a little glue on the spots that are going downwards. So that's going to look like that. All right, then now we're ready for the last step, and that is going to be to put the seashells on. Now when you run the die through, it's going to look flat, and then you run it through with the embossing folder next, and that gives it the dimension. And now we've got this big piece, and it's too big to put on the card as is. So for the kits, I gave everybody a half of a piece of this. So there's going to be some little nubbins on the edge here that you'll want to trim off, because I didn't do that. I just cut it in half. And let's see, get my sample out here. I think I only used, yeah, I cut off this bottom shell here, so I'll go ahead and cut off that one. So you can cut off the shells and use them individually or in together with some of the fronds, but that's going to be how I did that one. And yeah, that looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that. I think I would use liquid glue, but for right now, just to make it fast, I'm going to use a dimensional so I don't have to sit and hold it there. And the very last step is going to be to add some of these pretty opals, and they are called opal rounds. So I'll grab my pick tool and grab up one of those and stick it right there, and I think one right there and one right there, just like I did on my sample, but I can do that later. But this gives you an idea of how to put the book together. So you've got the 4 pieces that are kind of staggered in dimensions to make the book. Then you've got the stopper pieces, and then you've got the card itself, and then the 2 equal pieces that go on the top and bottom flaps. So if you just follow the steps in the instructions, it's really pretty easy. Just takes a little extra time because there's a lot of pieces involved, but it's so pretty. And so that's a great card to send to somebody really special, or just because it's something that they can display on their mantle or on their table. And it's so pretty for the summer with the seashells and the pretty colors. Well, hope you enjoyed that project, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments, or if you wanted a kit, you can message me and let me know how you like the project, and I'll get this moved aside and get on to our last one in just a minute.